anything that you want. Like
Anything.
literally.
Oh,
Anything. Anything.
Good deal.
Oh,
Good deal.
Well,
Welcome.
Yep.
welcome
Man.
everyone. Looks like the boys are back in town.
Deuces.
Quite literally.
So
We're back in town.
back in town.
How
Good.
was everybody's Christmas and New Year's?
Well, it was
Quiet.
good for me. Quiet.
Right.
Yeah. Y'all go anywhere?
No, stayed home.
Yeah, we did too.
Yep.
Man,
Yeah, we got-
2024 was a little tight, so was extracurricular activities like driving, all
Yep.
that stuff. So
Yeah, 2024 was rough.
we hung out at home.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
Stayed home, visit with some family and friends, and
yeah,
just kind of quiet holidays, man.
man, y'all got friends?
Yeah.
What's that like?
I like to say I wish I knew about it, but hey, well, we got friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got grandkids, so they're kind of young, and so my kids, my two daughters, and I got 5 grandkids now, but I got one that's going to college and she's working. I got one that's just turned 15. I got an 8-year-old and a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. So everybody just kind of stayed around home, you know. So we had a good time. They made out like bandits. They always do. Papa and Nana always take care of them.
Did you get your annual dose of socks and or undergarments?
No, I didn't.
No,
I got
a really cool I got a cool new apron to do
cookout, barbecue.
No, knife for knife making.
Okay, all right.
So,
leather.
It's like
canvas.
It's actually it's canvas. It's actually made by Carhartt.
Oh, but darn, that's a good one then.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, pretty tough. Got a lot of cool pockets on it. And I had ended up seeing it, I don't know, maybe Home Depot.
We could set that on fire.
Probably.
Not like on purpose. I'm just saying.
Oh, no, and I knew exactly what you meant. More than likely, I will find a way to puncture it, get blood on it, or set it on fire, or all three at one time.
Yeah, I don't recommend that one because then you have to prioritize the emergency. Which one's the most important? Generally, it's the setting on fire. I'd put that out first before I start dealing with anything else.
Oh yeah.
So,
but no, it was cool. I got that. But the undergarments, no, I actually got my wife some socks.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, they like socks, especially winter time.
Was that paybacks, or was that just just being sweet?
I was just being sweet.
Okay.
We were, my son's playing soccer right now, and of course the weather down here has been horrible. It's been cold. Yeah. Louisiana stays hot all the way up until like December.
Yeah,
and we never get
78 degrees 2 weeks ago.
I know, man.
And had it made it over 45 in the last week.
Ridiculous. And now, today, it was 40, but it was like a feel-like temperature of like 35 or something.
And then it started raining this afternoon.
It started raining. Yep.
I love the cold weather, and I live in the wrong part of the country for it. But the humidity with the wind and the cold,
makes it tough.
I'm not okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Today, at work today, unfortunately, I had to be out in the weather, but a little bit.
Tell the truth.
Well, I mean,
tell the truth.
Every hour or so, I'd go in the job shack and warm up by the heater.
Yeah, he called me earlier this morning. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm working." I was like, "Where are you at?" And he said, "I'm in the job shack." Poor guys out there working in the cold. Joey, the project manager, is tucked up in the shack with the heater on. Oh, that's where I'd be too, bro. I don't blame you.
I don't blame you at all.
Man, it's rough, man.
I'm not upset at all. Proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
But
I hope none of the guys that work for you watching this.
No, I doubt it. And if they do, then
it is what it is. So,
no, going back to the socks though. Yeah, I got my wife these really cool winter socks because, as I was saying, my son's playing soccer right now, and there's nothing like going sit in these aluminum bleachers at freezing freezing weather.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
Lauren got me a heated vest.
Oh, that's
man,
nice.
Dude,
bro. I'm in heaven. I've been wearing it like every day. It's got a rechargeable battery pack, and it's got 3 settings, and all this kind of stuff. And man, it's an old man's dream. That's what it is. And
I just ordered
it's great.
2 stadium seats that are heated. So now we don't have to sit on the aluminum bleachers no more.
Mm-hmm.
We can,
I wouldn't be doing. I'd be cheering my kids on from the couch, like watching a camera or something. My kids wouldn't be out there. Let's just be honest. My kids wouldn't be doing that. Like, it's too cold, Dad. We're going home. I'm like,
that's it.
Play. No,
just bring us home, Dad. Just bring us home.
Like, we're good. We're it's just and I get it. So
yeah, but now, man,
I'm glad you had a good Christmas.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm ready for the new year, man. 2025, baby.
I'm ready for 2025.
Oh, I'm ready. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a better year.
Dude, 24 was rough. And I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but I think, just my experience and the people I've talked to, 2024 was pretty pressing, especially for people, small business owners, that kind of. Because folks were holding on to their money. They weren't spending much. And
nope.
I get it. I wasn't either. I can't say that I'm upset at anybody about it, but man, it was it lacked prominence. I don't know if that's a good way to say it, but it was rough, man. So I'm looking forward to 25. God's still in control, and we just rock and roll with it. So
I think it's going to be a good year, Tip. I think.
I believe that
it's a year of new beginnings. I mean, I had a great year last year. After all, I am retired. Praise the Lord. I'm not out there I'm not out there in the road trucking. That's out there dealing with the elements on the road. I see a lot of guys the other truckers send me stuff that's going on out there in Colorado. Trucks piled up.
Oh man,
over in Iowa and Montana.
Imagine being out in California right now.
Oh man, I wouldn't want to be in California right now.
Yeah, I did talk.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say I talked to Eric, our friends at Marabraid, and I asked him how they were doing. He said they're south of down there. Where he's at, they're not real close to the flames.
Where the fires?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about them this morning when I saw it on the news. I was like, man, reach out to Eric or Kevin and see how they're doing, if this is affecting them.
So they're doing good, Don?
Yeah, doing good. He said,
that's good to hear.
That's good, man.
Glad to hear that.
I mean, they're starting a brand new year too, man. I'm excited for them, what they're going to do this year, bringing out some new stuff. I mean, it's going to be good. And we need to have them back on and have them do a recap maybe this year sometime.
Just kind of spotlight some of their product line.
Yep.
Just kind of the new things they're coming out with, because our listeners, they still get that discount.
It might be a good idea to ask our listeners who they would want to have on the show, who they'd like to see on the show.
Yeah.
I'm working on maybe getting the Don on here.
Yeah.
Not Watson. We get him on here every time, but
the Don.
El Presidente. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, yeah. I'm making a trip down to West Palm.
Don't hold your breath, guys and gals. But, I'll see what I can do. Yeah.
Well, you got to watch Tip now, because he's rolling with some high rollers over there. Tip's over there. I'm talking Washington D.C. delegates, man. He's got some.
I have friends that have friends. Let's not oversell it, Joe.
Tiff's got some friends in high places, man.
I got some friends that have friends.
I recently
I've been
worked
blessed.
on
I will say I've been blessed. Been blessed.
I recently worked on a project with him.
Yeah, that was a cool little project, wasn't it?
I was proud to be a part of.
Well, you want to tell them about that project?
I'll tell them. I'll tell the audience.
Not really mention any names, but we can tell what we did.
Yeah, I'll tell the audience. So I'll kind of walk into Tip's place of business where he works, and another mutual friend of ours, the owner, they had kind of mentioned a project they were doing for a congressman in our district over here in Louisiana, and to my surprise, they were like, "Hey, man, think this is something you'd want to do, help out?" And I think they were, I guess I can say that. I think they were gifting one of Tippy's kind of field crafts.
One of our field sets.
Yep. One of the field sets for the TC line. And so I got to be a part of that by building the roll-up case. I basically made a knife roll for that set.
Yeah, I seen that thing. It looked good, Joey.
Thank you, and I just thought that was pretty cool. And yep.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. You did a great job too.
Yeah.
What kind of leather was that?
That was Valabrana Italian leather.
Oh.
And I thought it would be cool to kind of match the OD green G10.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found this really pretty Italian leather.
It was nice. It really was.
Yeah. I found this. It was, the color of it was olive green, and it was dyed through, drum dyed through and through. And
it's beautiful.
Oh, I just thought it was so. It really was. It matched the set so perfect.
It made that set. We like our our stuff. I mean, it's you always like what you do. You should like what you build, but
sure,
there's certain things about, especially in our industry, I think, that kind of round everything out, and just make it. Just finish it, and makes it look nice. And Joey knocked it out of the park. I have to admit, he's always done a phenomenal job. In fact, I'm looking at some of his leather work right now. I don't know if y'all can see that. So that's one of Joey's sheaths, and it's actually one of Joey's knives.
Horizontal carry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the Fat Boy, right?
That's the Fat Boy.
That's the fatty.
This was my Christmas present last year.
Oh.
And I was going to, if we're talking a little bit tonight about EDC stuff, and so I brought out one of my EDCs. This is what, when I'm in my boots and I'm dressed up a little bit and I'm, trying to look pretty, I'll throw that on my belt and walk around like I'm somebody.
There you go.
I got a Terrio knife on my hip.
I think I failed to mention that. I'm a horrible host. So tonight we'll be kind of touching on everybody's EDC and just everyday carry items in general. So
there's such. Go ahead, Joey. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, so if you guys, whatever you want to talk about, flashlights, knives, leather pouches.
I didn't bring my flashlight in here. I've got a stream light. It's about that long. It's rechargeable.
Yep.
And it's got a pocket clip. The cool thing is it's got a dual pocket clip, and it can clip on your hat bill, and you can wear it as like a headlamp.
That's cool. I don't think I ever saw
It'll run off of a AAA, but it's got a recharge micro USB charger on it. It's a phenomenal little light. Just stick it in your pocket. I forgot to bring it. I got a couple other cool things. We'll get to those in a minute, but
yeah, we're
the EDC community is actually one of the biggest proponents, I think, of the custom knife and just the knife industry in general. So, I mean, eventually we're going to have to get around to this topic. These guys and gals are a lot of what drives, to me, the trends, and where the knife industry, it influences it for sure. It may not drive it, but they have a massive influence on what you and I and the knife industry does, in my opinion. That's neither here nor there, but I think it's a pretty important thing to understand that there are industries outside of ours that kind of drive some things, and I think it's something we need to, at the very least, be aware of and pay attention to. So
yeah, absolutely. I would say, from the way I view it, is for like small custom makers like us, it's a very big proponent of how our customer base and how product lines are driven into the existence, per se, to a point where you have a good utilitarian everyday carry knife, made by whoever, whatever custom maker. But you're right, is Tip is definitely a big part of the industry. I see more or less more of like the ABS style art type knives still being a big, up front, where, a lot of it's focused around that. But you see a lot of more guys switching to the utilitarian style, rustic look.
Yeah.
Well, it works, and just my thoughts, and I'm gonna try to quit saying that because I know I can get annoying repeating myself, but we all have our safe queens, those things that we don't want to mess up, but you've got to have something you're going to carry and you're going to use, and if you're, everybody wants to do that, so
yeah. And I've always carried, those case pocket knives.
Yeah.
Like, I just always carry those things. And I like to carry the 3.5-inch model. I know they make like a 2 7/8 blade.
Yeah, smaller. Yeah.
Yeah. But the one I carry is a slip joint 2-blade.
Yeah. I've got one of those too.
And it's like a 3.5-inch blade. It's got some pretty nickel bolsters on it, and
mine's about that long.
Brass liners, and some real pretty curly tiger maple on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a 3-blade. Is it a Stockman? I know I bought it 20 years ago. I bought one for me and my dad, and I still carry it in my pocket, every day. It's that's the thing you use to open letters and, clean your fingernails and whatever else
Everything.
you need, little jobs, So that's just something I'll probably never let go of it. Dad's got one, and, hopefully he's still carrying it for a long time, So it's just one of those things. So, Don, what's your EDC? That's what I'm curious about. As the elder of the group, I'm just.
Well, since I'm retired, I don't carry any too much. You have to leave the house before you do that. Yeah.
Okay, I see your point.
No, I on my knives, I used to carry a pocket knife with me all the time. As a truck driver, I used to carry. A friend of mine gave me back in 1979. He gave me a single blade Camillus high carbon folding knife.
Yeah,
because he got the buck 110 with the sheath and all that. Now, he was high cotton boy. Oh,
yeah.
And I said, "What are you gonna do with that Camillus now?" Because stainless to me was kind of, I didn't know anything about stainless, except buck knives. And
back in the day, they weren't very popular.
Yeah, and I asked him, I said, "What are you gonna do with that knife right there?" He goes, "Why?" I said, "I'll buy it off of you." He just handed it to me. And I said, "Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it." About brought tears to my eyes because I love knives. And I said, "I appreciate it, man. Thank you." Yeah. And when we graduated, he went in the Navy, and I lost track of him. Oh man, it's got to be 40, 30, 35 years. I lost track of him. And then he got out of the military, and then he hooked me, lined me up, and got a hold of me, and I showed him that knife.
Oh wow!
I said, "What do you think about that, buddy?" He goes, "Hey man, you still got that knife, man?" I said, "Yeah, man, you gave it to me." And that knife has got over 3 million miles on it. That one blade, man. Over 3 million.
So you saying you carried it in your pocket while you were driving?
Well, no, I did not. But I carried it with me in my truck.
Wow.
I carried it in my side box.
But you had it in the truck.
Yeah, I had it in the truck, and it stayed there for. Oh man, I had 29 years with the company, and I was at another company, and I kept it in my bag because I didn't want to lose it. If I carried it, because I wore shorts and I was in and out of the truck all the time. I mean, I wasn't just driving to California; I was in and out. I mean, I swapped probably 6-7 trailers a day. And what happens when you carry a pocket knife like that? A lot of times, when wearing shorts, what happens? It eats a hole in your pocket, and you'll lose your knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I said, I don't want to lose this knife and I'm not very sentimental when it comes to stuff. It's not, but I just thought, well, I want to keep this knife because it's a good knife because it holds the blade, it holds the edge real good. And then when I showed him that knife, man, he goes, "Dude, I can't believe you still got that knife." I said, "Well, where's your buck 110 at?" Awesome. He goes, "That buck 110, when I got out of the military, that buck 110 went in the military with me and went all over the world on my side where you could wear it. And he gets home out of the military, out of the Navy. He gets home, he goes fishing down there in St. Pete Beach and lost it on the beach somewhere."
Oh man!
Oh gosh!
I tell you, I still have my buck 110 from 1991.
Oh yeah.
You say that like it was that was a long, long time ago, Joe.
Well, it kind of was. I mean, what? My daughter, 1991. Let's see, 2021. What's that? That's what, 20 years.
I'm gonna throw my oldest under the bus.
Yep.
So I've got.
That's 20.
Some of y'all know I've got 3 girls.
So what's that? I mean, we're almost 25 years.
That's a long time. Well,
she told me the other day. She said, "You realize
I would consider that a classic."
Oh yeah, the 2050. We're just as close to 2050 as we are to 2000.
Yep. So I got a classic buck 110 from 1991, and it's I still have the leather sheath. It's still in the leather sheath.
Wow.
It's got some wood handles.
I'll be right back. Let me go see if I can find that knife. I want to show y'all.
And it's got brass bolsters.
He covered up the camera.
Yep, I still have that thing, man.
Yeah.
Still carry it.
I've got some old ones. I guess this is one of my favorites. So I don't know if y'all know the gentleman that taught me how to make knives was Mr. Dwayne Duchesne.
Yep.
And I don't know if you can read that.
I met him once.
And phenomenal knife maker. But
wow.
He makes slip joints. And there's the story behind this was I was harassing him one day, and I said, "Dwayne, I want to buy one of your knives." And he's like, okay, what do you want? And I was like, man, whatever you want to make. I just want one of your knives. It's more of a keepsake type deal. Mm-hmm. I was harassing him, and at the time, his knives were, well, they're even more expensive now. But at the time, I mean, I was a younger man and didn't have a whole lot of money. But his lead time was, year, 2, 3 years, whatever it was. And I figured in my mind, by the time he gets through making it, I'll have enough money saved up where I can buy it,
Mm-hmm.
And a few months later, I was over in his shop. He let me come work in the shop because I didn't have all the equipment that I do now. I didn't have a heat treat oven. I didn't have any of that. So I was over there one day and I was playing. I was trying to get the mill to work and I kept breaking drill bits, but that's another story for another show. And he walked over and handed this knife to me. I said, man, that's cool. And he goes, well, that's yours. And I was like, what? I said, Dwayne, I hadn't saved up any money yet. He's like, no, that's yours. He said, I made it for you. And it was difficult to fight back the tears, but I mean, now he did tell me, he said, if I didn't carry it, he was going to take it back. So I pull it out and I'll carry it from time to time, but I try not to mess it up too bad. It's got scratches on it. I've used it. I'm not afraid to use it, but it's just something that means a lot to me. And I don't know if y'all can see it, but he engraved the Texas Star into the pivot pin.
Okay.
And it's on both sides.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just and it's numbered.
What is the handle material? Is
micarta?
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, so the micarta on this, it used to be brown, but after everybody
darkens.
should know that it just patinas over time, and I've had that since 2009. So
2009.
Yeah, so it's what, 14 years old?
Yeah.
And 15 years old? Almost 16. Oh my. Yeah. So that's probably and no offense to you, Joey. I love your knife. But that's got to be, as far as that's got to be one of my favorites. And
man, I everybody's going to tell me I suck at math.
Yeah. I mean, I've told you that before.
No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. That buck knife I got is over 30-something years old.
91, yeah. Yeah, I graduated high school in 95, and this year's our 30-year reunion.
Yeah, that was bothering me. I was like, man, a minute ago, my math was horrible. Sorry, guys. Y'all got to excuse me.
Yeah. You said 92, right? You said 92?
92? It's from 1991.
Okay.
But
Joe, aren't you an engineer?
Well, I don't have a degree for engineering, but I've spent a lot of time with engineers and learned under them. So I guess.
But addition and subtraction is a struggle, right?
Today it is. Oh man!
What to make calculators for?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see that sucker.
That's the knife right there.
Is that a Barlow?
No, it's a Camillus. Camillus or Camillus.
I mean a Barlow style?
Yep, it is.
Single blade. So it looks like a Barlow.
That's pretty. That's a big old blade.
It is.
Yeah, that was so heavy too in your pocket. So I just stuck it in my truck and it I mean it's got a long blade on it too, man. It's kind of
I
like that. I like a Barlow.
Look at the patina on that blade, man.
Yeah,
never carbon steel.
Never rusted either, man. It's just I've cleaned fish with this thing. I've done squirrel, rabbits. I mean, I had a rabbit business for a couple of years. This thing's seen a lot of rabbit fur. So.
How many rabbits that thing cleaned, Don?
I mean, I don't want to lie to you, man.
Tell me your country without telling me your country.
Couple hundred.
How about that, right?
Couple hundred rabbits.
I had a knife. What did you say?
Something
business?
I had a rabbit business. I raised rabbits.
Yeah, there's something about a carbon steel blade as it ages and patinas.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I love it.
Just
his old ed's pretty good. I think it's probably got 1095 carbon in it. I'm guessing.
Sure. Some type of tool steel.
He gave this. Been around for a long time.
Yeah, he gave it to me in 1979. It was he got it. He got his butt 110 for Christmas, or no, Thanksgiving or somewhere like that, and it was still. And he had it because he stayed at my house most of the time anyway, and he gave me this knife. I said, and when I showed it to him, I said, "You remember this knife, boy?" He goes, "You still got that thing?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "It still shaves too." And I said, "Yeah, it still shaves, man."
Well, don't
Joey, I think I know what you're thinking.
Don't ask me to do the math on that.
Well, all right, I'll help you out. Let's break this down a little. I am 47 years old, and I was born in 1977.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
That knife has been in Don's possession for 45 years.
Yep.
That's
heirloom,
awesome,
man. I mean, you stop thinking.
But that speaks to the quality of stuff. It really does. It speaks to the quality of things.
Yeah, it does. So, that's awesome. We make heirloom. We make our craft. We make blades that will last.
Lifetime.
Handed down to great grandkids.
Several lifetimes. That's the thing. If you're taken care of, they'll last several lifetimes.
Yeah,
it's a multi-generational heirloom.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Well, this JW Terrio, that's going to be going to my kids, and hopefully their grandkids and their grandkids. Sure. I mean, it's just that good of quality. And I've got some other ones here that may not survive me, mainly because I just carry them and use them.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Tippy Customs.
All right now.
Yeah.
I got a Tippy Customs, that new Skinner that he makes.
I got one. You got the first one, actually.
I got the very first one, and it's made out of carbon steel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's the only one.
52-100.
It was made out of 156 thick, 52-100, and we got Koa scales and red G10 liners with stainless screws.
Yep.
I can remember that. I have a hard time remembering what time I'm supposed to take my medicine, but I remember that.
Yep. And I got to hide it from my son because
if he's willing to play the long game, he's going to get it anyway.
Yeah. He's going to get it. He's definitely going to get it. But I got to hide it from him because he, it's right now it's in the safe.
Mm-hmm.
Right now
that's because it's his, he wants that knife from his hero and his.
And I don't want to ruin the Koa wood on it.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, I need some sleep and some more coffee. I don't know which one's going to come first, but.
But yeah, man, that's and I think I might have carried it probably 3 times. I know I carried it to church twice.
Mm-hmm. And sheath on it is nice too. But
that guy, whoever did that, man, I tell you,
he's a little squirrely.
But he's a little squirrely. But I tell you, he does good work.
Yep,
does good work.
That's what you want. Good work.
He does that.
Oh.
What's your EDC, Joe? You hadn't shared nothing.
Oh, you want me to show it to you?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to wait.
Well, that's why we're doing video, right? I mean,
I was so unprepared for this, but I'll be right back.
That's your own fault.
So this knife is almost as it's older than you, almost as old as you are.
I guarantee that thing's older than me because he probably had it for a few years before he gave it to you.
And I think I think that's how you pronounce that.
Camelus.
Yeah,
I don't know. I probably should know.
I don't know what handle material they used on here. I think it's fake. I don't know if it's fake or fake bone or fake stag or something. I don't know.
Let me see it.
I know it's held up good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's held up pretty good.
It might be real. You never know.
I mean, being that old. No. I mean, he had it for I met him in my junior year. And he had just got it, and he was carrying it in his pocket.
At school.
And he at school. And the only thing is, in Florida, you can't have a blade longer than 4 inches.
Really?
Yeah. In the pocket, concealed. But anyway, we carried it. He used it, and and then when he got that butt 110, I said, "Oh man, I got to get that."
He bailed on it, though.
Yeah, he goes, "Here, you can have it, buddy."
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
But that's a cool story. Camelists, I don't even think they're in business anymore. I don't think. I don't know. Someone bought them out, I believe.
Yeah, we're about to find out.
But they, it's been a real good knife, man. It holds a good edge. I mean, it gets right back sharp. I mean,
oh yeah.
I used it in my truck. If I was cutting oranges or whatever, because I prepare my meals out there on the road and, cut up anything I wanted to cut up. And if I had to cut wire or tape, I had to, but.
So they filed for bankruptcy in 2007.
Ooh.
But they relaunched and rebranded.
Okay.
And they are currently being distributed in, let's see. It looks like
we talking about Camelists. They've
they don't make blades like that no more.
Mm-hmm. No.
So what I got,
that old timer.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got a few old timers.
They're back in business.
Yeah, so, good deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
I bet they're. I wonder if they're made in America or made in China.
They're made in China.
Europe. Yep.
Europe.
Well, they're out of. It looks like now. This is just a quick Google search. Looks like they're out of Europe. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Europe.
I'd have to do. Don't quote me on that. Anybody watching the show that's a big Camless. Aficionado, please don't crucify
we don't really know
because I don't know what I'm talking about.
So here is one that I carry.
All right, okay. Now, is that double X?
That is yep. That's a case double X.
It's a 2-blade trapper.
Yep,
2-blade trapper. It's got a little.
Almost lost a finger to that one of those.
It's got some. You can see the curls in it. It's got some curly maple.
Oh yeah.
I like that. It's pretty.
And it's got a Fishers of Men little
like that.
Inlet in it.
I like that.
Nice, man.
Yeah, that's one that I carry every day. And another one that I carry is this CRKT that was given to me by
see where it says dad.
One of the parent companies I worked with.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's a frame lock. It's got a frame lock, and then they did their emblem in it.
Oh, that's a logo. I thought it said dad.
No, their logo. They did their logo in it. Frame lock. Yep, that's one I carry with me. And cool. One Christmas, about 2 Christmases ago, I don't know if y'all remember when I stabbed myself right there.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of see where the scar is.
That hurts me. I'm hurting.
Oh, dude, this thing.
Yeah, I tell people all the time. Go ahead.
I was taking a strap off, a zip tie off or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, my hand just was there. And then when it gave, it just did.
Oh man, buddy, that hurt.
Oh, I told somebody the other day that just because we make knives doesn't mean that we know how to handle them properly.
I'm always getting fussed by my wife.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't make assumptions that we actually know what we're doing. We have one really good skill set, and that's we make some pretty cool stuff with an edge on it. Outside of that, the expertise and knowledge many times falls right off a cliff. We have no clue how to use them. It's like that joke that the nurse said to the guy, said, "Man, what happened to your hand?" And he said, "You know how those chefs will chop up vegetables really, really fast?" And she said, "Yeah." He said, "I can't do that." So, that's, yeah.
We're gonna have to start putting a disclaimer like, "Do not try this at home."
Yeah, please.
Man, we need to do an episode outside. We're gonna have to fly Don or let him drive out to Louisiana when it warms up a little bit. We're gonna do an episode where we all take our favorite knives that we've ever made. We go out in the yard and we just try to break them. And
cool.
Invite a bunch of people over. I've got a new fire pit out in the backyard. That was my Christmas present to myself. I dug a hole, and so we can sit out there. We can have a nice, good fire going, and we can drink some coffee, and we can eat some Reese's peanut butter cups because I'm still fat. Doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon, so might as well enjoy myself. And we can just have a good time, and we can talk knife stuff, and we can see how bad we are at handling the stuff that we create. So, it'll be a good time. Yeah. So look for that in the summer. Yeah, it'd be great.
Speaking about creating,
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. I thought we would maybe I kind of brought a couple of knives here.
Yeah.
Stuff that I make. But I don't think I didn't all but I make we currently make that, and all but one that I actually do made and have made that I'm going to show you between these 4 models that I've actually only produced one so far, but this is kind of a little EDC style blade that
looks familiar.
Yeah.
I like that. Simple, man. Nice and simple.
Yeah, really.
A little curve.
Just a little
curve for the.
Yep, just kind of a little simple EDC style blade.
Mm-hmm.
Just real simple, kind of cool, kind of like a little puko style blade. So that'll be a cool one. Have this one right here. This is kind of a cool one, cool shape, just another small blade.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I like that profile, man. I like them profiles.
Yeah. Good little drop
simple.
Point.
Yeah, a little drop point, little skinner. It's got a nice little, just simple designs.
Real nice,
and
man.
Then this one you'll see a little bit of me. This is kind of a cool one.
Watch out now.
Yeah, you sent me the picture of that the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, Joey.
Yep.
How's that ring fit? It fit. You do a reverse grip on it?
Mm-hmm.
Feels comfortable. Yep, that's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been drawing something like that right there, but I can't seem to get it look right, man.
And then this one, Tip. Another cool little EDC.
Oh, that's nice.
I do know that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Nomad.
That's the Nomad.
Yeah, that's our collab.
Recurve.
Yep.
Got a little recurve.
Got a little recurve.
Yeah. That was Joey's input on the blade design, so I let him grind all the blades.
Yes. I got a feeling I'm gonna have to
look, I'll finish that sucker out, but if you want that recurve in it, you go grind that sucker. So, and he did a great job. He did, as always, he's got phenomenal grinds.
I don't know anything Joey can't do good.
Apparently I can't add.
That's not important. That wasn't important.
No, because nothing we do in knife making requires math at all. No, not at all.
Nah. We'll just eye it.
That's close enough.
Close enough.
Just grind it a little bit more. It'll be fun.
Grind it more. No, yeah. So that's the Nomad.
Yeah.
And it's roughly like 7 1/4, something like that.
Yeah.
But So yeah, that's me and Tip's collab knife, and we it's got a little bit of flair from both of our styles in it. You can see the lines in the handle would reflect more of kind of stuff that Tip likes doing, and then the blade be more kind of my style.
Yeah, we got a few of those still available, don't we?
We do. I know I'm sitting on 2 of them. I know they got some at the store.
Yeah. We got a few more to finish. I just
and then we mentioned
carbon fiber earlier. We got some.
Yeah, some of the ones cool we've been putting out are they're Nitro V. Yep. We had them hardness tested. I think they
63.5 Rockwell.
63 and a half.
That's real good. That's pretty hard though. That's hard, man.
It's pretty hard.
Edge retention.
I just tell everyone it's 63, and then I go, it's really 60. But I actually played around with one of the ones I have, and the edge retention is phenomenal. So
yeah, it's been pretty good. We like it.
Yeah.
And you can't even really tell I messed with it. So
yeah.
If I tell Tippy what I
did, hand, Joe. No, don't tell me.
If I tell Tippy what I did with it, he'd be like, "What?"
Some things it's just better to be ignorant about.
No. But no, edge retention is. I don't know.
Cool.
So,
cool. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna show y'all something that I never thought I would do. You know. And we don't all carry, for those of you out there that think we do have some. I have 2 custom knives, one from my mentor and one from my friend, Mr. J.W. Terrio. But I also carry some other, production knives. This one, I just want to show you real quick because I like to brag on them. This one I had to confiscate from my oldest daughter. Because I believe she was about to threaten somebody at church with it. So we had a long talk about knife safety, and but this is her knife, and I stole it from her. Now I carry it. I will give it back to her eventually. It's an artisan. It's a cool little knife. I'm not much on a Persian.
Yeah, can you hold it up to the? Can you hold it up to the camera again? Because I like that blade style. I like that profile.
Yeah, it's a pretty little knife. They make the same knife with a micarta handle, but she didn't like the micarta. I like the
profile.
It's a cool little. It's a good little EDC, and it's thin. I mean, it's and I like it.
What is that knife? Who makes that?
Artisan. Just come by the store. I'll Artisan Cutlery. It's stand by. I think this one's got D2. But let me double check.
You think is it all right if I mention the store?
Oh yeah.
So Rustic sells it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is not D2. It's a stainless.
It's 14CN28.
No, AR-RPM 9.
Wait. Hang on. Let me see the equivalent to that.
Man, I don't know. Are you doing math?
No, I know.
Don't do math no more.
I have a knife app. I'm sorry. I have a knife steel app. Sorry.
Oh my word.
And it'll tell me the equivalent, because whatever country that steel comes from.
I'm not going to tell you exactly, but I'll give you a hint. The initials are China.
Okay, give me that steel again.
Stand by.
I like that app. I need to get that app, Joe.
Did you hear? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
AR-RPM 9.
I got it.
Yeah.
AR-RPM 9 PM.
Yeah, RPM 9.
Okay, let's see. All right, AR-RPM 9. It's got 0.9% carbon. It's got 0.10% of vanadium.
Yeah.
And it's got 18% of chromium.
Okay.
It's got 1% of moly. It's got.
Don't try to pronounce that whole thing.
Yeah, that thing there. Anyway, I'll read some notes on this steel. AR RPM 9 is a proprietary alloy by Artisan Colorway, introduced circa mid 2020, promoted as a PM steel, which I'm for budget knives. So I'm guessing
metal.
Powdered metallurgy.
Yeah.
Actual steel producer is unknown at the moment, at least to me. No, seriously, that's what this says.
What did we get ourselves into tonight?
It says, if you know who makes it, please share the info. He says, if I had to guess, I'd say A. Honest Cheng Zhang is a reasonable guess, since Artisan Cutlery used 8 chromium 13 MoV stainless steel made by A. Honest Cheng Zhang. But who knows? From the published materials, the sentiment is AR RPM 9 is supposed to improve over more traditional budget stainless steels from ANSI 440A and ANSI 440B groups. Composition remained a secret for a short while until Artisan posted it on their Instagram page.
Huh. Yeah, it's got decent edge retention.
It's like I said, it's got
that's saying something.
It says technically technically AR RPM 9 is a high carbon steel.
Really?
With 0.9% carbon in it and 18% chromium.
Yeah.
Ensures good stain resistance.
I think it's stainless, man.
Yeah, it's 18%.
Yeah.
A lot of chromium.
And it says it also contains trace amounts of vanadium, cobalt, silicon, and is a bit strange and along the nickel, 0.4% nickel. Anyway, in terms of edge holding, it won't compete with D2 used in other knives from the same maker, but it is deemed an upgrade over the other budget alloys used by them, meaning the 8 chromium 13 MoV.
Okay, so in comparison, Nitro V has 0.68% carbon, 12.98% chromium, 0.079% vanadium, and 0.1098% nitrogen.
And if you look up AVL,
how much vanadium did they have?
Which one was it? RPM 9?
Yeah.
Vanadium, 0.1%.
Okay. So, but the chromium was like 18.
The chromium is 18%. Yeah.
Dang.
Man.
Yep.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Yes.
That is a lot.
Yeah, I think over in China they copy a lot of the steels.
Well, this app I have, it's cool. It's called Knife Steel Chart.
Yeah.
And you can look up pretty much any steel. And it'll give you the equivalent of what Finland, Germany, China, all these other countries, like if it's a US steel, it'll say, okay, it's equivalent to this. Or if it's a China steel, it'd say it's equivalent to this steel in the US. Because they all use different designations as to how to identify it in those countries versus the way we call 440C in America.
Yeah.
China calls it whatever. You know, 7R and 13 MOV, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's
I learned
what it
something
is.
new about my own knife. That's cool. This one is M390. What's the equivalent? Is that
M390?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that Swedish?
I don't know.
I think it is.
I have really cool friends, and one of them gave me this.
Okay, out the front.
Oh, that's an automatic.
That's nice.
This is a Microtech Ultratech
Dang,
DE.
$5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry.
I had issues.
What did I say? What did I say? M390 was Sweden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what it is.
Cool.
It's a bowler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a bowler steel.
Yep.
Yeah, bowler steel. Yep.
So, like I said, I've got really cool friends, and I'd always wanted one of these Microtech, but they are expensive, and it's hard for me to believe why that people would charge that much for a knife. But I walked in one day and he gave me this. I mean, and then I wore a blister on my thumb like the first day because I was just, that's a grown man's fidget spinner is what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually carry this most days. And I got another knife this week. My wife said I couldn't buy knives anymore because I make them. So
you got to make your own.
Yeah, and
it's like
but she didn't say nothing about trading for knives. So I had a guy approached me a week or so ago. That's a good friend of mine. Said, "Hey," and he was looking at one of those long tail skinners like what Joey's got, and it was one of our first ones that we actually made that. That's one of our new models on our production side. So I made one with some redwood scales, and he really loved it. So he asked me if I'd be interested in trading. I'm like, sure. What you got? I love to barter. And he brought this because he had showed it to me a few months ago, and I just thought it was a really cool knife. And he said, "Look, would you be willing to trade?" And I was like, "Are you sure about that?" And he said, "Yeah." So I got me. This one is I guess you call it a Wee knife, the Wee brand. So it is textured titanium.
Okay.
It's got a copper pivot ring, machined backspacer and pocket clips frame lock. Mm-hmm. And it's a front flipper.
Really?
And look at that. Isn't that cool?
Oh, that is cool.
Oh, I like that blade.
It's a pretty knife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that blade.
Yeah, it's got a subtle tanto. It's pretty neat. And what I didn't know about this, and watch this. This is impressive, and that's how smooth that thing is. I mean, it will literally just fall close.
That is smooth,
and it's rigid, but it is one of like 205.
Oh wow!
Like this, so it's actually a pretty neat deal.
That is nice.
So
that is nice, man.
Very nice. I like that profile on that blade.
Yeah, that's a cool little knife. I've been carrying it for the last couple of days, and I'm really starting to like it. So my Microtech's been getting some rest.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these artisan knives.
They're cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they make some cool knives. They've got some higher end ones. They're made with titanium frames, and
I saw that.
They do some really cool, cool stuff, and they've been making some, with different designers and makers, designing some models for them. So pretty cool. Yeah, if you're in the area, in Lafayette area, come on by Rustic. Got some of Mr. Terrio's knives up there.
Yeah.
Some of his fixed blades. I think you got one of his. I know we got a Fat Boy, and then we've got a couple. What's that other model you got with the upswept, that Skinner, Joe?
Clip Point.
Oh, Rev Hunter. Oh. Yeah. Clip Point.
Revolutionary Hunter. Revolution Hunter.
Revelation.
Revelation.
Yep.
That's close.
Rev Hunter. That's close.
That's close. So.
Yeah, I believe that's I think that one's made out of a rasp.
Yep.
It's got some Purple Heart scales.
Some file work. And it's got bolsters on it too. It's got split scales. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, segmented.
Yeah.
And so, that's you're talking about that's the Gentleman Fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty knife. It really is.
Yeah. That's the one I won at the Louisiana Knife Show.
When you got 2 awards at a show.
Yeah, I
remember that.
He cleaned up. He cleaned up.
That's where he got the nickname Greatness.
Greatness.
Yeah. Oh. That's not where I got that nickname.
No, it's not. We haven't told that story in a while, but we might tell it again.
That did not happen this year.
No. The thing is, and I'm gonna give Stephen Prather in the Louisiana Custom Knife Makers Association a plug here. They knocked it out of the park with a bad situation. So
they did.
For those of you that don't know, the annual show that we do here in Louisiana, this was actually the first year they made it a 2-day show. Was scheduled for September, first part of September, and for those of you that might remember, we had a little thing called a hurricane aimed right at Baton Rouge. It actually moved a little bit east of Baton Rouge, if I remember right. And the location where the show is scheduled to be held is actually used as an emergency evacuation shelter center, and so they base all of the first responders on a hurricane out of that facility because it's a massive facility. We only use one building out of, I think, like 5 or 6 or maybe even more than that. I'm not sure. But, and so they were told that they were going to have to either cancel or postpone the show. And these guys, they went to work and they reached out to all the table holders, and they found a date that would work for the vast majority of them. And they rescheduled a show and had it in within a month, I think, of the original show date. And of course, that's a difficult task. And I mean, doing a show itself is a massive undertaking, and then to be able to reschedule it and still have a showing. That's commendable. At least it's very commendable, and I think they did their best they could with a bad situation and made it work. So hopefully next year there's no hurricanes. That would be awesome. But we do live in the Gulf. What you call the Gulf from here on out, that's between you and the good Lord. I'm not going to get into that conversation today.
Gulf of America.
Well, Gulf of America.
I wasn't going to say it, but here we are. So, but they really did. They did a great job, and I know they're always working and striving. Them and that the board and all them guys are doing a phenomenal job, and really appreciate what they're doing for the knife industry down here in Louisiana. So just a quick plug for them. Hopefully they're listening, but they're awesome guys, and I look forward to what they're going to be doing in the future. So, and Joey was there. I wasn't able to make it on the reschedule. We had some stuff going on.
I mean, and of course, with that happening, it wasn't as busy as it would have typically been.
Yeah.
Say if the show would have been actually in September.
Well, but also, again, it's like we were talking about earlier, 20 2024, a lot of people just weren't spending money.
No, they weren't.
And you know, in reality, let's face it. There's a certain aspect of the knife making community, especially the custom end of it, where it's more of a what's the word I'm looking for?
A want,
not a need. Yeah, that's the best way of putting it. I think we all need knives. We don't all need high end custom knives, you know, type deal. But you know, so I think that possibly had an impact on it. Like I said, nothing against the guys; they did a phenomenal job. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know about y'all. 2024 was a little less than door busting, if that makes sense. For Tippy Customs, we were down in sales. I mean, that's just part of it. But you kind of squirrel it away when it's a good day, and then that'll help you get through the bad days. So it's what it is. You know, this is the life we're walking. So,
and I wish I could say I was making tons and tons of knives, but I actually kind of took a break, and I guess kind of setting up the new shop, and so whenever I get that done, I guess I'll just get back to it.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to convince Joe to let me set up his press in my shop,
but I'd have to repair it first.
Look, I will help you repair stuff. That's not a problem.
Yeah,
I know a guy that can weld.
When I was, you're talking to him.
I know. I'm aware.
No,
I'm great at giving instructions.
A mishap. Well, no, it wasn't a mishap. It was just stupid on my part.
You had a moment.
I had a moment. Yeah,
kind of like with the math. From time to time.
Kind of like with the math. I went to. I got impatient, and I went to move the press off of a table, and the thing's pretty heavy. So, and the hoses, the hydraulic hoses that are like connected to it, they go from the power pack to the actual press.
Yeah.
They're stiff. They're stiff and they're sturdy because they're under a lot of pressure. But anyway, so when I moved, I was like, the power pack's pretty heavy, so I was like picking it up, trying to move it, and like when it wasn't doing what I was wanting it to do, I was like, man, what's wrong with this thing? And like the press is sitting on the table, and it's like moving like this and like edging toward the edge, and just goes, pow, and it fell on the fitting that's on the cylinder. It comes out of the cylinder where the hose comes down. It fell on that, and it just pinched, pow, and it bent that fitting.
Man,
next thing you know, I had hydraulic fluid
everywhere,
all over the floor. All over the floor. So I may or may not have said a few things, but
you repented though, right?
I did.
There you go.
I did.
And bad words were spoken.
Not like really bad, but like
oh man,
I was really just.
Is there a dividing line between bad and really bad?
Yeah, of course. I wasn't dropping F-bombs.
So that's the line.
Doggone
it. The line.
Before the F word.
That's the line, dude.
Anyway. I need to tell a story. Is that all right if I just tell a story?
Yeah, we got it. We're an hour. We're an hour
into this. If you stayed with us this long, we love you. Thank you, and I apologize for what I'm about to say. Yep. So years ago, I go to a men's Bible study on Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. great group of guys. And so I just started going. It's like the second or third one. And there was a young man teaching, and he's new in Christ. He's new in his relationship with God, and phenomenal individual. Really, really have a lot of respect for him. And I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to embarrass anybody or kind of divulge more than what I would if had he given me permission. But anyway, so I'm sitting there, and in this group is a lot of combat vets, just some pretty unique individuals, phenomenal people, but different backgrounds, and he's talking about one of his first experiences with God. And what I love about this story is just the fact that it shows that God will reach us where we're at,
Yep.
And he's talking about, he said, I got up the other morning, and he said, I went for my run, and I'm like, run? Why are you running? I don't run unless somebody's chasing me. And even then, I really have to, because I don't want to die tired. If somebody's chasing me, I'm at the point now in my life, it's like, look, I'm ready to meet Jesus, so it's either you or me. So he's talking, he's like, yeah, I was going on my 7-mile run. And I'm like, cool. I get tired driving 7 miles. But anyway, he said he was running. It was before the sun was coming up, and he said I was listening to my Bible with my headphones, my earbuds, and it was just one of those moments where you just have an encounter with God. And he said, I'm watching the sun come up and listening to the word being spoken. And he said, I'm looking at it, and he said, the only thought in my head was, this is the most effing beautiful thing I've ever seen. and I'm like, and my brain's trying to process. I was like, did I just hear what he said? And he's like, I was like, yeah, he did. He did say that.
He just said that in Bible study.
Yeah, he dropped the F-bomb in the Bible study. I was like, all right. I was like, okay, where are we going with it? But the thing is, this is where I think we as Christians, we really need to we need to get off of the do's and don'ts list. Sin is sin. We call it what it is. But when you are just starting with your relationship with God, you got to give people grace.
That's right.
Not everybody's going to walk at the same pace you're walking. Not everybody's going to have the same experience you are. And I was reading. I've been studying the scripture that talks about add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, to temperance patience, and to patience godliness. And godliness means to image yourself after God, and that's not even the first thing on the list. The only things that are after godliness are brotherly kindness and love. And at the highest dimension, I think, of our relationship with God is the dimension of love. But we tend to, at times, not everybody, but we can tend to put godliness first. In other words, somebody starts going to church, we expect them to walk right, act right, talk right, and have everything perfect. And I don't think that's the way we need to do it. I think we need to allow people to have faith, because relationship begins at belief, right?
Yep.
And then you start adding things to our belief. And godliness, while it's important, I'm not saying it's not, it is important, but we need to allow people to grow into that, and let people learn how to image God. And what I mean by that is, we are made in his likeness and his image. We look like him, and we act like him. We're supposed to. And we reflect the things that we revere. And if we revere God, if we revere Jesus Christ, then eventually we will reflect him. And that's to me, that's our testimony. You know, we start to act like him, and that's the most important thing. You know, I don't nobody's perfect, right? And I'll be like Paul, you know, the chief sinner. You know, we all have to admit that fact, but it's just, I think we need to allow people to be who they are and let God do the work on them, and just love them and help them, and be an imager, and show who Christ really is, you know. And I'm not meaning to get preachy tonight. I'm just talking, but you know, it was that whole scenario. It kind of gave me a new perspective um, on my relationship with God, and how thankful that I am that I was brought up in the life I was, and not that it's better or worse than anybody else, just the blessing that I have growing up. And it was a really cool story, and it was funny, and we've laughed about it since, me and him both, and several others. But it's just, we need to understand that not everybody's going to act like we do, and that's okay, you know.
Right.
Now, there's obviously things, you know, there's a list of 10, you know, that God was very specific about, and know, I think we need to stick with that. I really do. Think, you know,
to your point, yeah, I think that's why Christ came and knew he had to leave.
Yeah.
You know, and was because that if he didn't leave, he knew the Spirit wouldn't come. He knew the Holy Spirit would come and dwell within man.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, or the Holy Ghost, as the King James version would call it.
And us Pentecostals. That's what we're referred to.
Or Pentecostals. But so Christ, you know, he told the disciples, you know, I have to go. And where I'm going, you know, you cannot come.
Yeah.
But he had to go so that our helper would come and help us here while we're here on earth.
Oh, absolutely.
And so yeah, and I think you brought up another good point. It is good to give grace.
You know, because we need it. I need it.
Yep, every day. I need it every day.
Every day
I need it.
we get God's mercy. Grace.
I've got to have it. Because I'm not what I should be.
Yeah, I think
not what I need to be. You know,
I think if more people showed grace to others, this world would probably be a better place. But
I do believe that.
You know, people do things and then they blow up, and you know, I give an example, just like the whole internet thing. You know, not without getting in too much into it, but you know, there was a post on Facebook about a certain business, and something happened, and you know, in the comments, it just turned into a whole. It just turned into a mess, man. Like just for nothing.
So you mind if I share the context of this conversation? So,
well, I mean, you can. I just didn't want to. I mean,
no, it's all good.
Okay.
So, a buddy of mine, a good friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, owns a gun store, and this week, 3 gentlemen came in and decided that what they wanted was not worth them paying for it. And so they decided to just go ahead and relieve the store from the merchandise without offering to pay for them. So they walked out. Within the first 2 hours, the one individual was arrested. So the other 2, their warrants out, blah, 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 blah. So as you know, the business has a right to, made a social media post with pictorial and video evidence, asking for the community's help. And 187 comments later, and over 1,000 shares. There were several. I'm going to call them discussions in the comment section about what is right and what is wrong. And there was some trolls in there, of course, just like anything that gets any kind of traction on social media. There's always somebody, fake accounts or whatever, that's going to go in there and just try to stir trouble up. And that happened. But there was other people that it's just, we have to understand, if we would get back to the 2 commandments that Jesus said, they asked Jesus, said, what are the greatest commandments? Referring back to the 10 commandments of the Old Testament that Moses brought down on the tablets from God. He gave us 10 commandments.
God with all your heart, soul, and mind.
Yeah.
Love your neighbor as yourself.
Yeah. And so those 2 encompass the 10 that God wrote for Moses. Love God and love people. And if we could just get that right, it's like what Joey was saying. If we could just get that right, the world would be a different place, be a better place.
Big time.
And,
it's just, the way the conversation was going, and I didn't mean to cut you off, Tip.
There wasn't much love in the comments.
There was no love in there. And then you see one go after the other, and
it was both from both sides. It was not. There was not one that was. Oh, it was the left. Those that lean left, or those that lean. They were both sides being ugly.
It's true, because it went from it turned from a simple post of,
hey, we need your help.
The store owner trying to get help from the community.
Yeah.
Of getting these guys identified because of their wrongdoing. I mean, you got to think, like, when people when they go into storefronts like this and they steal from these store owners, well, that drop, like, I can't fathom the amount of stealing that goes on in that area of all the stores. But what happens is it drives the cost up.
Yep, it does.
For me, for you, for Tip, for everybody else, because these store owners can't. These small business owners, they can't afford that.
Well, and the thing is, it was almost felony level theft. I mean, it wasn't just a couple knickknacks, a keychain or something like that. It was hundreds upon hundreds of dollars, and just it is what it is, and but I would love to say I hope these gentlemen learn from their choices and become better. I hope so.
Well, I really do. I do. I pray for them.
Yeah,
I pray for them.
It's the best thing you can do.
But they just made a bad choice, and
they made several that day.
Yeah, but that's something they're going to have to reflect upon. Yeah. Whatever it is that happens to them.
Yeah.
So, but the whole thing was about everybody attacking each other, about who was right, who was wrong.
Yeah.
To as to what was being said about these young men and what they did. So.
Oh yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Well,
but it's one of those things you just show those people grace.
Yeah.
And move on.
Yeah.
Like,
Now that doesn't mean they're not going to suffer the consequences of their choices.
Yep.
Because
there's one suffering right now.
That's part of it, And here's the thing: Christian or not, whether you're in a relationship with God or not, we all still deal with the consequences of our choices, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Don.
Well, what it says that God shall not be mocked. Whatever a man soweth, he shall surely reap. You're gonna reap it.
Amen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Amen.
That's the way it is. So,
well, man, I see we're getting up on an hour and 25 minutes here.
Yeah.
And Brother Don's like an hour ahead of us. So
it's almost 10 o'clock in Florida.
Yeah.
We got to start wrapping this up.
Yeah.
That's been good, man. Been real good.
Yeah. No.
Hey, I did want to say, we were talking about, supporting each other and helping each other out. There's some, bringing it back around to the knife community and the EDC community. I think it would be wise for us as a pretty niche community to reach out and start helping each other as much as possible. That's what this is all about. That's what the whole podcast is about. It's what social media should be about.
Mm-hmm.
Is just getting awareness out there. There's guys, I'm going to mention one, Cajun EDC, down here in Southern Louisiana. Great guy. Him and his family.
Yeah. Do you know him, Jason?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, great guy.
I don't know him, but he tags me a couple of times on Instagram. But
he likes your stuff. He's coming in the shop every once in a while.
Okay.
Great guy. But it's guys like that. We did a giveaway with him last year, and it was pretty amazing. So one of the things that he does is he reaches out to not just knife makers, but everybody in the EDC community, different things, and he'll do a big giveaway at the end of the year, every year. It's all donated stuff, and this year he had so much. I think he gave away a grand prize pack, and then 5 other packs. And each one of them had at least one knife in it. Stickers, patches, pry bars, all kinds of cool stuff. It's great. But it was an opportunity for a lot of people, and not just the EDC community or just the knife community, to come together and just and he does this every year, and this is what it's all about to me, in my opinion, is just making those connections with people that otherwise you may not come in contact with. I mean, let's look at this show. How would we have ever met if it hadn't been for what we do?
Right. Yep.
Joey and I I think it was God, put us next to each other to show a few years back, and we become great friends. And he knew Don, and now me and Don are friends. We've never actually met face to face. We've talked on the phone, and we've been on podcasts a lot, but but
I never met face to face, but I feel like we have.
Oh yeah, but we're friends, and that's what's great about it. We got these guys coming on the show every once in a while, and it's just great people and a great community. I mean, this is what it's all about. It's just just making the best life that we can and do something that we love, and just really enjoy it, and bringing as many people into the fray as we can. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. To me, that's one of the greatest things about all this. It's just, we can talk about stuff. We learn stuff about new steels and politics and religion religion. We learn about faith, and it's just, I'm really thankful for it. After 2023 and 24, 23 was a rough year for me, personally. 24 was a rough year for the business. But I'm thanking God that he brought us through it all. And,
he always does, don't he? He always does.
Oh yeah. And he's taught me some things, and he's grown me, in ways that I never thought possible. And it's just amazing. It's a great thing, and I encourage anybody that's listening or that may be listening, that find a relationship with Jesus Christ. I mean, It's the best thing you'll ever do. I can attest to that. But and that's loving God and then loving people. Find people like J.W. Terrio and Don Watson and do something great together. Let's just love God and love people and make knives. It's just
Amen.
sounds like a plan for 2025. I think that we're going to do a T-shirt.
Yep.
The First Crafted Edge podcast T-shirt. Love God, love people, and make knives. Just
and make knives. There you go. Let's do it. I think we should make them.
Hey, we could do that. So,
well, I want to add to that because, I've been in 3 makers. I was a woodworker for a while, and then I got into wood turning off the lathe, and that's big. And I stayed there around 16 years.
Yeah.
And then got into doing, knife making. But, all 3 of them I've been into, man, just awesome people, man. I mean, just the relationships I've built over the years and just, helpfulness. I mean, I could pick up the phone and call somebody right now and ask them how to do something. And, hey, man, you do it this way, or, hey, come by the house, I'll show you.
Yeah.
That's been real giving. One thing about the maker, whether you're doing leather, I don't care what it is, it's anything you're creating by hand or creating, you'll find there's a lot of good people involved with it, and a lot of helpful people out there in that world. I mean, when I was wood turning, I had someone say one time, well, why are you showing him how to do that? Because that's your competition. And I looked at him, I said, no, there's no competition here. You know why? No. Because artwork and what you do by hand is really no competition, because you can take a knife like this. That's all wood. It's a wood one.
It still cracks me up.
And I can put that, and I can say, Joey, you do a knife like this, and Tippy, you do a knife like. I promise you, it'll be different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It'll always be different.
I tell you right now, mine will have some full flat grinds.
Yep. So I mean, yeah, this is my 2021. And a recurve. Yeah, recurve. But no, man, it's there's no. I always say there's no. There is no competition with art.
No,
never will be. And no, but no,
You're right, though.
I mean, all of them. I mean, all the things I've been involved with, it's always been helpful and giving and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, that's awesome. I agree, 100%. Well, fellas,
we want to thank everybody that has listened to us and subscribed to the YouTube channel and has subscribed to us on Spotify.
Yeah.
And all the other locations that we are uploading to.
Our Instagram.
Our Instagram, when we appreciate you guys.
Yep.
Without y'all,
very much,
none of this would be possible. So we thank y'all, and we want to also mention to go check out our friends of the show, Eric and Kevin, the owners of AmeriBraid Grinders. Eric and Kevin, man, they make an amazing product. I run an AmeriBraid. Don runs an AmeriBraid. I think Don almost got just about any attachment that AmeriBraid makes.
I got quite a few.
Sure he does.
I got quite a few.
One of these days, boys, I'm going to join the crew.
Come on over, man. You'll love it.
I'm serious, Tip. You need to talk to Eric or Kevin about. They have those old school frames.
Yeah,
the old
tube frames.
I wonder if they'd be willing to barter.
I'm telling you, Tip, they'll do like a DIY kit for you. Just tell them you want to do a DIY, and I'll weld it for you.
Yep. There you go.
And
like I said, I know a guy that can weld.
Yeah, I'll weld it up for you, and we'll put it together. And you have to get you a motor and a VFD, and
I've got a VFD sitting out in the shop. Yeah.
You could use one of those VFDs like you bought.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a K-Bach, but
yeah,
dude, I would definitely do that. But anyway,
you may need to give him a shout this week then.
Yeah. Anyway, I just want the listeners to know that.
They're phenomenal.
Go check out our friends of the show, Eric and Kevin of Ameribraid Grinders. They are giving our listeners is it 20%?
20%.
20%, yeah.
20% discount on all of their accessories for their grinders.
Yep.
And that whether it be a surface grinder, contact wheel, small wheels, slack belt attachment,
knife sharpener.
They got the new Super C Platinum. Their table.
Yep.
They got the adjustable tables. They got all the different tables now that adapt to the contact wheel sizes, the small wheel sizes. There's like I said,
there's a lot.
Brother Don got all of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What they call Ameribraid Poor. Ameribraid Poor.
He's Ameribraid Poor.
Ameribraid Rich. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Ameribraid Rich. No, Ameribraid made you poor.
There is that.
No, but awesome guys.
We need to get them back on the show too.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have them back on the show. But you get a chance, you're in the market, to upgrade on your grinder. You want a surface grinder or something? Go check out Ameribraid.com and look at all their accessories. And when you put it in your cart and check out, just don't forget to type in promo code Crafted Edge 20, and you'll get that 20% discount.
Yep. That's big. Absolutely. Right there, bud. That's big. That's huge.
That is big.
That's huge discount.
Yep.
Huge.
It is, man. And we're very grateful that Kevin and Eric are, willing to do that for our listeners. So we thank Eric and Kevin.
Yep. So, awesome. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Very much.
I wished I had that 20%. I wished I had that 20%
off. When you made all those purchases.
Y'all think I'm nuts, but I've just been waiting for the right moment. That's what it is.
I heard that.
I don't know, man. Do I get the 20%?
Sure. Yeah, you get the 20%.
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You can't beat that,
guys. I'm about to fall asleep, and I can imagine what Don's about to do because he's an hour ahead of us. But I've enjoyed it.
About 5:30 this morning, so
I've been up. I've been up since 5. So.
No, Joey gets up early.
I was up at 4:30. Yeah,
I get up early now.
The boss has to get up early.
You gotta get up there and go hide in that tool shed with the heater.
Get the heater going.
Oh, come on now, man!
You knew I wouldn't let that one go. We had one more shot.
That's not all I do all day. So.
No, it's not all you do. It's most of what you do.
But no, guys, we appreciate y'all, and till next time, we'll see you later on the Crafted Edge podcast.
Yeah, have a great week now.
Thanks.